Alright everyone, today I wanted to make a video in regards to a project that I have going on. I'm in the process of building a wine rack enclosure that's going to be made out of metal and glass. And so I came to a point in this project where I needed to drill a lot of holes. And the material that I'm going through is two pieces of 2x2 by 1/4 inch angle iron that is sandwiched together, so it comes out to being about a 1/2 inch that I needed to drill through. So anyways, normally I always have a Makita cordless drill that is my go-to. It's just, I just have it around and it's been my go-to forever. But I felt like in this case I just needed something just that was a little bit more well balanced, for lack of a better word, and something that was a little bit smaller and that had a lot of power in kind of a subcompact space, I guess. So let me get you guys turned around here and I'll walk you through what I have going on and then we'll go from there. Alright, so this has been my Makita go-to. I've had it for 2 or 3 years. It's been flawless. I've been a Makita guy ever since, the very beginning when they used to have the 9.6 volt nickel cad batteries that they were just huge among the car stereo installers back in like the 80s and 90s. So I've always just kind of liked their products and they've never really let me down. So that I've had that for years. It's been great. And then, so I used to work at a tool store, and the particular tool store that I worked at in Burbank, California, the guy found this line of pneumatic tools. This is called a St. Louis pneumatic, made in the USA. It's an inline air drill, and I absolutely love this thing. It's excellent for tight spots and for doing, I guess, more precise drilling, if that makes sense. I've had it for years, and then one day there's something went wrong with it. The motor worked great, but the chuck wouldn't spin. And so I've never had a chance to send it back to St. Louis Pneumatic to get it repaired, and it's just been sitting for years. So I consulted YouTube, and because I know that Harbor Freight, they introduced, they have this line of Chief tools that's their house brand, and I don't know who is manufacturing it for them, but it seems to be a really decent product. And for the price point that it's at, for the amount of money that you pay versus the amount of power and versatility that you get, I think it's an excellent balance. I mean, keep in mind that it's not a Sioux or a Chicago pneumatic or anything like that, but for what it is, and to see you through a project, it's great. I hope that I can make this review for somebody if you're stuck in the middle of a project and you need to make a quick decision. This is kind of, I hope this helps you. So anyways, they have two different models. There's a 3/8 chuck, and then there's a 1/2 inch chuck version of this. I went with the smaller one simply for the fact that I wanted something that had a lot of power that just kind of, it just fit like really well in the palm of my hand, and it does that, and it works amazing for what it is. So let me get you turned around and I'll walk you through this project, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so this is the wine rack enclosure that I've been working on. This is how I have the angle iron kind of set up here, you can see. So I needed to drill through that to be able to make this thing so it goes together in sections. Anyways, and so on this side, it's a little bit over 9 feet. I had to drill 19 holes in this side. I just went a little bit overboard just because of, after growing up in Southern California and living with earthquakes, I just don't want to chance it. So over on the other side here, these are all the holes that I had to drill, and then I'll kind of walk you through that. So after I marked my holes and marked them with a center punch, I used a 1/8 inch drill bit. And then after I drilled all those holes, I worked my way up to a number 7 drill bit. So this is a quarter 20 tap that I'm using. And then after I drilled my holes, I went ahead and I used a 6 flute 5/8 countersink, and that thing, it really hooks up and it moves a lot of metal. And the drill, it did not flinch. And trust me, there are times when I was really leaning into this thing and it never skipped a beat. So another thing too is also, so once I start my, got all my holes drilled and I tap, this is what's called a tap starter jig. So what it does is you hold this kind of on the surface of the material that, I apologize for the lighting. You hold this on the surface to get your tap started, and you get the first like 2 or 3 turns started. And then after I go through and get my holes all started that way, just because you want your threads and everything as straight as humanly possible for doing it by hand. And then after I go through and I get them all started with that tool, I just go over to a traditional tap handle to follow it through, and it really works great. Another thing too that I like about this drill is it's really kind of small. And if you're a mobile rig welder, and your space is a precious commodity on your rig. So I just want to give you a size comparison really quick. All right, so this is the Harbor Freight. It's a trailer mounted or tongue toolbox. You can mount it anywhere, but I guess it's kind of designed to work with a tongue setup, and it's great for having like all of your small tools that you would use for doing mobile work. So anyways, this just to give you kind of a size reference, it doesn't take up very much space at all. Matter of fact, I think I would like to maybe just buy one more of these, that I keep in the shop, and then one that I keep on my rig. Anyways, that's about all. All right, I hope this video was helpful to some of you who might be in the market for a pneumatic drill, or if you bidding on a project that might require a bunch of drilling and tapping. We'll see like in another year or two where things are at with this. Anyways, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm also on 26fe.ironworks on Instagram. Hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.